25 years ago this week, China's military crushed the pro-democracy protests in Beijing's Tiananmen Square. One image stands out of a single protester carrying shopping bags, blocking a column of tanks. His victory was brief and the brutal crackdown continued. A quarter century later, Seth Doane discovered China still won't let its people talk about it.
Who are you?
This is what happens when you try to interview someone with a story to tell about Tiananmen Square.
Why are you stopping me?
This woman would not identify herself, but called police as soon as we arrived outside the Beijing apartment of activist Yo Weijie. Yo's husband, Yang Minghu, was shot and killed near Tiananmen Square in 1989. Yo said she was being watched by police and could not leave her house, so we went to her.
Mrs. Yo, it's Seth Doane from CBS.
No one came to the door, but 5 policemen showed up outside.
We're just trying to interview Mrs. Yo. 你知道 Ms. Yo?
Chinese security prevented us from speaking to a number of people for this story, so we traveled to Hong Kong, beyond the reach of mainland police.
No one really knows how many people died.
There we met Lee Chok-young, who's founded a new museum about Tiananmen.
I hope one day my museum is in Beijing.
He was in Beijing the night of the crackdown. He told us he thought the pro-democracy movement had momentum, but then the tanks rolled in. He remembered the gunfire and the fear when the lights went out.
That's the darkest point of my life when the whole Tiananmen Square lights was, switched off.
When did you realize that there had indeed been this massacre?
In the morning, actually, when the light come up, you can see body already being, transported to the hospital.
25 years later, Lee's museum is waging a new protest against the erasing of history.
In China, no one allowed to discuss about June 4th. Parents do not talk to their children about that. So there's a vacuum there.
It's just really shocking.
Many visitors come from mainland China, including Jiang Luo.
I didn't know about it when I was middle school, high school, because it wasn't really mentioned in the textbook.
Why is this issue, this historical event, so sensitive 25 years later?
Yeah, that's exactly the question I want to ask the Communist Party. Why are you so afraid?
Today's communist government is afraid of what Lee says is simply an historical truth. Maurice, this is a city on lockdown. We've seen security beefed up across Beijing and certainly at its center in Tiananmen Square. Our own Chinese colleagues have come under pressure from authorities. This is an anniversary they do not want. Remember.
Seth Doane, 25 years later in Beijing. Thank you so much.